mysterious souls, I'm Mukta and you're watching the Sibyl Revealing Secrets. This video we'll be discussing about the High Priestess card and its different meanings. Although, as I have always told you, I hope that you've already meditated with the cards, jotted down your rough points or your interpretation of the card, and then you're watching the video. If not, please pause, do that and be back. The High Priestess is considered to be a card of intuition, feminine card, not of the worldly kind but more of the spiritual kind, and it is considered to be a card of secrets. I personally consider the High Priestess as the card of hidden secrets, and whenever it pops up in my readings, I generally tell my client that there are some secrets that the client is unaware of and hence should not keep very high expectations or should not expect things to go as planned. There will be other revelations, and because of that the client will have better clarity in the future, with the help of which he or she will be able to make better decision at that point of time. So it's not a good idea to just stop planning and go with the flow. One should plan, but keep some room for contingencies, in fact more than usual room for contingencies, and be open and flexible with your plan in the future, because there can be some information that might come in your way and which might help you in getting better results, or else there can be some information that's warning you about something which you've already included in your plan. So you need to make those little tweaks in order to be safe. When I say secrets in this case, I don't necessarily mean dark secrets. They can be deep but not necessarily dark, because it's similar to the kind of thing that you have when you are entering into a new field. At the initial stage of any journey, you do not know a lot of facts that you get to know after some time you've spent there or after you've made some progress into it. So after getting into a field, after being there for a few years, you get to know better about that particular field. So those are the secrets that you cannot get to know without entering into the field. Even if you talk to an expert, the expert will tell you the ways to go, but there are a few things that you are able to gauge only after experiencing a few things. So those are the secrets that we are talking about over here mainly, although it can include some dark secrets as well. So basically this card all in all relates to secrets when you talk about me. But otherwise generally this card is also related to intuitive or feminine power and spirituality. Earlier this card was also known as Lady of the Silver Star, and the second name that this card also has is Feminine Divine Figurehead. So you can get that feeling of intuition and feminine power in these two names. Some authors also relate this card with hidden potential or developing talents, especially when it comes across to remembering something of significance from the past or re-polishing a skill that you used to have but it's kind of rusty now because it's been a long time since you've touched upon it. When we look at the symbolism of the High Priestess card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we are able to see a lady who's sitting just ahead of a curtain that's tied between two pillars, and it seems as if she's guarding something that you're not able to see because it's hidden by a curtain, which is why she is seen as a guardian of secrets. So she is guarding some secrets that we might not be ready to accept or we might not be ready to know about. So we'll get to know about this later on in our journey, but right now she will just tell us what is required and we need to go with it, and we need to trust her that later on we'll get to know whatever we need to know from time to time. If you look at the symbolism, you will also see that she is wearing a blue gown which is kind of, it flows like water. Over here, like from here it goes down, so it's a very smooth flow, and the watery thing is highlighted at the bottom, wherein you feel as if there's literally water nearby the moon. So water, moon, these are feminine characteristics again. There are also symbols of being calm, which we can clearly see from her posture and her face, that she is sitting very calmly. There are two pillars on her sides, and one is black colored, one is white colored, which calls for balance between two extremes or two opposites. It can also be considered as a significance of life and death, both of them in balance, or balance of good and bad. And some people say that it also signifies that she has the power to do both good or bad depending on the situation or what's required. The letters mentioned on the pillars B and J come from Hebrew alphabets Boaz and Jachin. I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but they mainly mean severity and mercy. So that again talks about balance between two extremes. So basically she is the one who is at a very high position, but she's also very much down to earth, and she has some sort of a perfectionist feel also along with it. So she will try to hit the exact right proportion. She has everything in symmetry. If you go to see everything, even the design of the pillars, the way she is sitting, the position with which she is sitting, it's very symmetrical. Also, some say that she is a symbolism of a lot of goddesses, be it Greek goddess or Mother Mary from Christianity, because one, she is wearing blue, and Mother Mary is seen wearing blue in a lot of images, and she is also considered to be symbolizing Greek goddesses because many of them are related to moon. Especially if you go to see her crown, it is Isis crown, which has the full moon in the center, and the two horns are waxing or waning of moon, and you also have a crescent moon and at the bottom of her gown, which basically calls a lot of the feminine power and relates a lot with those mythologies. It is also said that just like the moon rules the ocean tides, she rules the tides of life. So she is considered to be really powerful and is guarding a lot of things. So main two things from this card come across as intuition and guarding of secrets, or slowly getting the secrets revealed in the future, not right now. Also, if you see the curtain closely, you'll be able to see that the curtain has a pomegranate and palm tree. Pomegranate many times is related to feminine energy, and palm tree is related to masculine energy. So somewhere it is said that although it is a feminine energy card, still you will be able to find some amount of balance still there. So it is primarily a balance card, and then comes more of feminine energy. Although we see a lot of feminine characters overall in the card, and there's just this one masculine, but still the essence of balance stays intact. She also has a cross, so this can be taken as a religious card as well. In a lot of cards, the High Priestess is shown holding a locked book. In Rider-Waite-Smith, she is shown holding a rolled up scroll, which means that she has some important message, or she has some important knowledge that she is not ready to give out yet. So again, it is about the secrets part. Although some people also interpret the scroll and the book as that she is not able to get the answers that she wants from any book or any written message. What she seeks is something that's inner and something that cannot be explained with words, which is why she is just contemplating by herself, not trying to look answers from an external source, but from herself, from within. Although because she has a moon at her feet, there are some people who've also said that she might be thinking of herself as kind of very powerful, or she thinks of herself as too much because she thinks that she's above the celestial powers. So that's again another interpretation, but you generally come across very rarely any negative interpretation of this particular card. Looking at the High Priestess card from the Shadowscapes deck, we can see the black and white contradiction over here as well, which will talk about power to do good or bad, or the necessity of balance again. Here we see black and white in the wings, so we are able to highlight that there. There are two wings, one black here and one white here. Also, the moon factor can be seen in her drape, the one that she has draped around her upper body. On one side of that particular drape, and on the other side you're able to see waxing and waning of moon. So she does not have that moon specific crown, but she has those two phases of moon in her drape. So that kind of brings that femininity into the picture. Also, one thing that's peculiar of Shadowscapes that we do not really see in RWS that very much is that there is a fire element very much into this card. So you can see that her hair, it symbolizes a flame or something like that. So because of which we can talk about a fire element, and if at any point of time, if you zoom that very much, you'll be able to see that there is a fire symbol on her forehead as well. But then after noticing that, I also tried to notice if there are other symbols that are available in this particular card, and I got to see that there are these feathers which would talk about air element. Then you can see earth element with the, because she's holding that fruit pomegranate, which also talks about femininity, but it can also relate to earth element as well. We can also see the element of earth by the branches that she has near her waist. The element of water can be highlighted by the overall blueness of the card and also the flow of her dress. So there can be an interpretation that she again is talking about balance of everything, and she has a lot of power. If you look at the posture of this particular card, we'll be able to see that she is having a cross posture, which means that she has her arms wide open and her legs are close together. So this is more or less like a cross posture, and we've seen the cross in RWS as well. So we can say that this card is very much into religiousness or mythology. Moreover, the name the High Priestess talks about religion, which actually translates to female pope, because priestess is a female priest and High Priestess would be the highest among all the priestesses, so basically a female pope. So yeah, there is a significance of religion and mythology in High Priestess card as well. In Shadowscapes, you're not able to see any closed book, locked book, or rolled up scroll, but we are able to see an owl, which is generally considered to be a symbol of being wise. So we have the wise owl just below her, so which means that she has a lot of power and a lot of knowledge. So all in all, the High Priestess card is considered to be a card of intuition, feminine power, secrets, some religiousness as well, artistic abilities or other talents that are developing, and a lot of insight. It is also considered to be a card of a very sound advisor as well. Whenever this card comes reversed, the possible interpretation can be that a lot of secrets have already been revealed. There's nothing much yet to be revealed, and hence you can make concrete plans with the help of the information that is already there. But if there are negative cards around the reversed High Priestess card, then we can say that there are a lot of false information involved. Some sort of fraud is being committed, or half information is provided which is truth and the other half is kept intentionally. So here we can talk about some dark secrets as well. It can also mean that you know everything but you're lying to yourself, so you're not confronting yourself with the truth, and that can end up being bad, so be careful about it. And the fourth possible interpretation is that there is too much of information, more than required, much more than required, because of which a lot of confusion is taking place. So you need to take a break, think about it, look at it internally, and then try to decipher each and every information that you have. Do not make mistakes by being overwhelmed. So I hope that these different interpretations were of help to you in order to understand the High Priestess better. If it was, then please press the like button. Also, let's continue with what I was talking in my previous videos, wherein I request you to write in the comments below what are your meanings of this particular card, so that all of us can benefit from it. And in order to understand this card better, you can try to relate the meaning of this card with your day-to-day life or things that surround you or the life of people that are close to you. When you relate things like that, it is easier to understand and remember those things. So when you do that, also type in the comments below your views or how you related it with those other things, because that might be of help to all of us. Share this video with anybody who is wanting to learn tarot or wanting to know more about the High Priestess card. And if you are interested in learning tarot, then I think subscribing would be a good idea, because I will be posting such different interpretation of different cards in this channel every weekend. So I'll see you next weekend. Till then, bye bye, take care and stay curious.